ready to re-enlist?
I am.
Okay. Senator Rono, you have another question? No. Okay. I just got a couple of questions here real quick. Does anybody want to follow up on the suicide in their purview? You didn't get to talk about. Anybody want to say anything? We had a couple that.
Yeah, Senator, thanks so much. Our colleague said, obviously, suicide is a challenge that all the services in the nation really has been facing, trying to tackle. In addition to, our ability to hire more healthcare professionals, and I think we all agreed, there's a lot of work on at the tactical level. How do we get leadership involved? But also, how do we get just a rank and file involved? From a Space Force perspective, with 6 years old, as we stood up, we had the opportunity to kind of take a look back at what some of the challenges service, brings to it. That's one of the reasons why, at least from a cultural perspective, the Guardian commitment, what it means to be a team member and a team leader at the tactical level, to make sure that there's connection there, which is also one of our core values, to try and help get after some of the isolation and some of the loneliness. And I think, right, in addition to professionals, healthcare system, it is the work at the tactical level and the culture that all of us are trying to create so that members feel connected and they don't necessarily have to get to extremes to the point where it's crisis and we have to rely on the medical community, that they have that connection and camaraderie amongst one another with the culture we're building.
Thank you. Well said. Anybody else?
I could just add, sir, it's the 21st century, and just to one little point on data, and for an organization that is about humans, it's about the Marine, we can do so much better with how we develop a young person today. It is different, and so we must bring them up in a different way. We were talking about it. In my day, there was someone smoking a cigarette and running in front of, leading me in a formation. And those days are over, and some may be sad about that. I'm not interested in that anymore. These are our children. These are our grandchildren that have come up to take the helm. And so with the point of data is, imagine that the platoon sergeant knows that someone didn't get sleep in the last 2 days because I've given them something to wear, or a shirt that tells me how dehydrated they are. And so it is the 21st century where we can use all these AI predictive things to help as a tool. It will never replace the human connection with eyeball to eyeball. But the time is here to get after the things that Sergeant Major of the Army and SEAC come from that world. They're small and they're able to invest, and that's how they create lethal teams. And we can do that today for all of our services. It's right in our fingertips. So I would just appreciate the help in the future with that.
Thank you. As we finish this up, if you got something on your mind, I want you to bring it up. We're going to start at the end down here. Mr. Isom.
Senator, thank you, and thanks for this entire committee. We really do appreciate the focus that you're putting on people. I will just say that we as leaders, we do have to always remember that every service is different. Each one has unique demographics and unique problems. Every basing location is different. A problem in Guam looks very different than Alaska, than Pensacola, Florida. And so a top-down solution is not always the best approach. I advocate for flexibility for the services to find solutions inside of their own services, and for local commanders out at those bases to try to find solutions, because oftentimes the local solution is much better than the top-down solution. But thanks again for all that you do, and I appreciate your service to our nation.
Thank you. Sergeant Major.
Mr. Chairman, Senator Warren, thank you. I hope today one of the things that you see from all of us here is how close we are. Services have equities. That's just how it works. We're in the people business. We're actually tight. My teammate to my left is new, but his predecessor's sitting behind me, and because Jim and I are tight and we're close. Dave Flossie's not here anymore, but we're still tight. And Dave Wolf's here. This is who we are, and I hope that comes off today. There's nothing we deal with that's easy. I learned that 3 years ago. But we definitely want to make sure, since you gave us the opportunity, that is one thing the committee walks away with.
Master Chief.
Chairman, Ranking Member, I appreciate the opportunity again, and very much thank you for holding the hearing. and I appreciate the heat and light you put on us in this, you know, whether it was barracks or family housing or childcare. Because I think everybody in this room knows, left to our own devices, my building and this building will just buy me stuff. All right? You know, it loves kits, right? I got lots of contracts for warships and airplanes and all kinds of things. You know, and the thing that often gets the short shrift in the budget is the things that impact the quality of service of our sailors, not just their quality of life, because I think sometimes we get too narrowly focused on housing and barracks. You know, the other place in my service specifically we take a detriment in often when budgets are tight are in the quality of the training that I give to the enlisted member, the quality of my peers, the hangars. You know, we're the richest country in the world with the strongest Navy in the world, but when you drive on our base, it is not obvious that those first two sentences are true. So I appreciate your continued partnership, and I look forward to engaging with you in the future. Thank you.
Sir, thank you for the opportunity. Just one more thing that maybe your influence or your membership in other committees. I feel like I'm also the Sergeant Major of the Marines of the past. And today, thousands of Marines exited for the last time their Marine Corps base. And so building momentum in their lives as they exit, because I won't be able to keep all of them, and really I can't, and frankly, I don't want to, is the best of the best get a seat at the table. But for those that transition, especially for the culture that we have, the ability to transition from active duty or the reserve component, whatever they're serving in, straight into a first responder type of billet, that they're not waiting 12, 18 months to go to a school, right? And that the in-between time, when the paychecks run out, when the medical gets expensive and life hits them, I worry about suicide in my service in active duty and reserve, but just as much when they exit the service. And so if I can transition them faster to those areas, shipbuilding, whatever it is. I met with the Secret Service director, build a pipeline where a Marine can go straight from the last day of active duty to your school. 21st century, eliminate the barriers, let's get after it. And in turn, the communities get a leader a lot quicker to go and be the next mayor, the next congressman, the next congresswoman, and take over the helm of America.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman and Ranking Member. We really do care about these issues just like you do. We really appreciate your continued advocacy. One of the things that I've noticed in just a couple of short months in this job is we do have resilience problems in a lot of areas. One area I've noticed that we don't have any resilience problems is in the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy is very resilient. And as I look at the issues that have come before this committee today, there are common themes in each one of those areas where bureaucracy sometimes keeps us from delivering what our folks need. So anything that this committee can do to continue to put pressure on extra rules that aren't necessary and things that block us from being able to deliver what we need to our people, we welcome that opportunity and look forward to working with you on that and many other things in the years to come. Thank you.
Chairman, Ranking Member, thank you so much for the opportunity today to talk about, these very much important topics. Quality of life, and we kind of talked about this a little bit in quality of service, having stable and reliable budgets really will be helpful as we plan some of these things out. So help with reliable, stable funding will be helpful to get after some of the challenges that we talked about today. And the flexibility, I think SMA talked about, right, having flexibility because not, one size doesn't fit all, I think is really important. Ranking Member Warren, you talked so passionately about childcare and CDC specifically, but so much goodness and effort with all the, in childcare in the community, homes, spouses opening childcare in their homes, renting seats downtown, like I talked about they did at Peterson. Having the funds and the authority and the flexibility to get after some of these challenges in multiple ways is so helpful to kind of cut through some of the bureaucracy and actually provide impact to our service members and their families. So thank you for all the help on that. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks to all of you. This has been good, and we need this. We need more of it. I coached a football team. You can have all the equipment you want, but if you ain't got the players, you don't have a chance. And we need players. We need men and women to fight, to sign up and protect our country. It's about 6 months ago, I had a family come into my office here on Capitol Hill, career military, 5 kids, 12 years old and under. Not one of them's healthy because they were in a home for years that had mold. Yeah. Somebody should go to jail, and it probably should be us up here. If I had a magic wand, we'd take 5% and add to the NDAA every year. If it's $1 trillion, it's $50 billion that goes to barracks, food, child care, health care, whatever it takes to build the best, continue to build the best military in the world. If we don't do that, it's not going to happen. As Sergeant Major Russ said, we got AI coming, but it ain't going to take the place of a soldier. Not going to happen. We can't count on that. But we can count on you training, but you can't train unless you got people. And you can't have people unless you got families that are taken care of. It's embarrassing that we have those 5 kids that will never live the life that most of us have had a chance to live in here because of stupidity of not following up and helping a family that's put their husband or the wife has put their life on the line to serve in our military. It's just sad. So hopefully we can continue these dialogues. We hope we can help all of you. We appreciate your service and what you've done for our country. Continue to push our soldiers hard, train them hard. You never know what's down the road. I mean, we live in a dangerous world. But thanks to the families also. My God, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have it. So thanks to all of you. Thanks for what you do. And let's continue to have the best military in the world. This hearing is adjourned. Thank you.